Yeah, so welcome everybody today. We're fortunate enough that we've got Siobion Butler, the Kent Tennis Competition and Performance Coordinator, with us today. And as I said, how this came about is, at our club, we've started to run box leagues now and into club box leagues successfully on the competitions planner. But we still run our tournament very antiquated, sort of a manual process. And when you start to speak to people and try and get volunteers involved in organising the competition side of things, the first thing they say is, look, I don't really know how to do this. It's very sort of prevalent to Mepham Tennis Club that we need this education today, a bit from Siobion, and hopefully Siobion can sort of talk us through how to get started with it. We all know that playing competitions helps players feel like a sense of purpose and progression. Providing social interaction and fun, and it's about really retaining your members at your club by offering sort of ongoing competition, be it, as I said, box league or just annual tournaments. So Siobion, over to you, if that's okay.
Thank you, Andy. Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Yes, so I was going to actually talk about a few benefits of competitions, as Andy was saying. So there's many benefits. So for players, exercise, they can meet new people, socialising, sense of community. They learn life skills through playing competition, learn patience, respect, determination, and also a sense of accomplishment from where they've started to where they finish during competition, whether they win or lose. It's great life skills to playing in competition, and also the benefits to your venues as well. It's a great opportunity to showcase your venue. You're attracting new people to your club. They could potentially be new members. You're also providing a vital service for your members as well. As important as coaching is, if there's no end to the coaching, there's no end goal, then some people don't like that. Some people would like an end goal. They want to do their coaching and then see if they've improved by playing competitions. It also can create a healthy club environment with competitive and social membership base. It's a way of integrating older juniors and adults as well. I don't know if some of you find that you might have some good older juniors, teenagers that are now starting to play in teams. And it's great for the youngsters, and I think it's really good for the adults as well. And statistics have found through the LTA that playing competition keeps players in the sport for longer. So in theory, it would hopefully keep members at your club too. So it's a win-win. If you are keen to become a competition organiser, it's a really simple course you can take online. It's an online Zoom through the LTA website, which I can send a link to, and it's £30. And a competition organiser, you play a fundamental role in the mission of embedding a culture of competition within tennis. They're there to organise and deliver local and social competitions. It doesn't have to be county championship level. It can be a simple grade 6 open tournament to even just to local children in your area. So for example, if Tunbridge Wells hosted something, children from St John's or Avenue or local clubs, you could all get together and host the tournaments. And that's where I would start at grade 6. Doesn't have to be external, can be internal, like Andy was saying about your club championships. Myself, I helped Sundridge Park put their club championships online, and after a while it became very successful. People know what to do, how to log in, and where to go to enter. First you have a few hurdles, but that's where I am here in my role within Kent Tennis to support you. If that's something you're looking to do, I can support you, and I'll be honest with you, it does make life a lot easier having it all on the LTA competition management system. Then so if you are keen to do the course, that would be the first step I would suggest. And then once you've done that, we can have a chat and I can explain to you how you go about running a competition, because you'd have to use this program called TTP, Tennis Tournament Planner, that the LTA provide. And it does look quite off-putting to begin with, because there's lots of functions and lots of information there. But with some simple training that I can offer, I can show you the basics and how easy it is to use. And then it all links to the LTA CMS as well. So the system's really good once you get used to it. And there is an update from the LTA that if you wish to host competitions at your venues from next year, from January, you will need to have taken the competition organiser course, unless you are an accredited coach or a licensed official. If anyone at your clubs aren't an accredited coach or a licensed official and doing competitions already, best that they speak to me so I can guide them on the route to making sure that they are eligible to be still running these competitions. I have with me on the call Francesco, and I just wanted him to come along just to explain his pathway, because he's a fantastic example of coming from I say as a parent. For me, I knew you as a parent, and now you are a fantastic referee, and in what appears to be such a short space of time. And I just thought maybe you could just give a quick couple of minutes on your journey, if that's okay.
Yeah, sorry, I will be 5 minutes because I had another commitment after this. But yeah, so just to a short tour of my last 15 months, I would say. So in July 2024, after, I think I might have shared that with Andy Mepham, but after many years in banking and following I think what was the 5th restructuring 6th year, I had enough and I decided to take redundancy. And while I was debating what to do, I did explore the opportunity to do tennis tournaments. The reason being, as a parent, I must have attended in excess of 200. I had both kids that love competing. And then also I'm a football coach. I was doing it as a volunteer. One of the reasons why I'm only got 5 minutes is because I'm going to coach for the PSG Academy UK in Essex. And I decided to follow my passion. So what the kids do, really, they play football and I coach my son team. They play tennis and they compete. And so it all started with a conversation with their head coach, which is Neil Beadle, who runs the coaching program at Oakwood Tennis Club, and then runs the tennis courts for Swanley Tennis Centre in Swanley. And I think one of the challenges in running tournament in traditional clubs is the availability of courts and when you can get the courts. In Swanley, I was pretty much being given a blank sheet and say, you can do pretty much what you want. Then coincidentally, Bromley had all their courts resurfaced and the courts weren't available when we needed to start. And because my commitment to Oakwood as a volunteer, when I was in the bank, the bank had a scheme where you could do match funding. So I was always a volunteer running the junior team. So my kids' team at Oakwood, and also I always helped them to fundraise. And every year, Lloyd's would match whatever we fundraise with my help or pay Oakwood for the hours that I was volunteering. So they agreed to let me use Oakwood while Swanley was being completed. But as a result of the incredible feedback from parents about Oakwood, about the club, how the club was good and how the kids have enjoyed being able to compete locally in the club next to their house, many feedback from members as well, but also the number of Oakwood members, junior and adults, that started competing externally that never had done up to that point. They then agreed, because I was utilizing the court at times of the weekend, the very little usage normally, which was like after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They then agreed to host tournament. And there are many benefits to it. Number one is a great, I mean, one of the reasons why I started is because I could see an opportunity as a parent. And it's a great way to raise income for your club. It's a great way for kids in your club to see higher level player playing your club. One of the things that I'm really, really happy now is that there are county players which are top 10 nationally for their age group. They're actually choosing my grade 5 tournament as their tournament when they don't compete nationally. And these kids come to Oakwood, which they would never even step foot in Oakwood if it wasn't because of this opportunity that is created. You do need to get it right. I think I was lucky in that I've been to so many tournaments, and I knew everything that I didn't like as a parent, and anything that my kids didn't like, and everything that I like as a parent, and everything their kids, you know, I was saying, oh, can we go to the tournament? One place that was doing exceptionally well tournament was Avenue Tennis. The kids loved them. So, you know, I spoke to Faisal and I said, took me through, and, you know, or great amount of freedom leisure center. So I always look at places where I was happy to go, and you know, a few tweak. You know, people tend to think that weekends morning is the best time to run tennis tournament. Not really. A lot of kids play other sports. My kids play football. There's football matches on a Sunday morning. They rather play tennis tournament in the afternoon. Obviously, I had the support of Siobhan, which exposed me to other things as well, like, you know, being able to referee school competition at Bromley Tennis Centre, link me to other referees. I did the course via Siobhan, one that she organised specifically at Park Lanley. I attended a training session with her around TTP. Then because I love it, I then expanded, and now I probably know TTP inside out. But my first step was Siobhan, and and to be honest, it does look daunting, and it is what it is, probably a glorified Excel spreadsheet, to be honest. So it's a very, very old system, and not very flexible. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily do what you want, what you might need as a tournament referee. One of the great successes is now the club wants to do more. In August, on the first weekend after the end of the Kent League and the weekend before all the county championship, this was actually, and sometimes my advice to you is listen to your customer base and your members and your parents and your players. Where this started in February, Siobhan had a tournament in Sandridge Park, and she needed to use court in Oakwood. It was my first tournament to referee, in actual fact, that I ran myself. And one of the participants, Seb, mentioned that the previous year there was a mixed double tournament, adult tournament, in Chandos in North London, and it was very successful. And I was a bit dubious, to be honest, because as a parent, I've never seen many. And I said, I wonder. And I did a lot of working on that tournament. And I'll be absolutely brutally honest to you. Any of the referee that I knew say, you're not going to get a single entry. It's going to be like, no one is going to turn up, trust me. And I said, look, I think if I place it right and I market it as pretty much your only opportunity to practice your mixed double partnership before the county championship, it can actually work. Well, on a fast 4 one-day tournament, the maximum number of entries you can have is 16. Because the maximum number of fast 4 matches in one day that you can play is 4. We had 16 pair. It was an absolute success. The club allowed me to run it at 1 o'clock rather than 4:30 normal time. They did a barbecue. It was, and then now they're asking me, can we do more? Can we do more? So sometime, you know, you need to feel the vibe, and you need to also be a bit brave in what you do. I would never ever thought. I mean, if Seb wouldn't have told me in February about a mixed double tournament, never even considered doing one. Actually, double was always like, it's a bit complicated because you need a pair to enter, and that. So my advice to you is, if you are considering doing tournament in your venue, speak to people that do tournament already. Number one, speak to Siobhan. She's an incredible support in terms of guiding you to the right thing. I've one of the things that I've done, I was asked by Park Lanley to bring to life back the match play program. Again, a lot of referee people are no interest in match play. Kids only want ranking point. Absolutely not. All of the Park Lanley match play that I've done have been oversubscribed. I've now just built a calendar of more from now all the end of March, and we just got in Oakwood 2 young coaches train as competition organizer, and we're going to do grade 6 starting very soon in Oakwood as well, because the demand is just there. So I've only got 5 minutes, but if you want to ask me any question or anything, I'm more than happy to answer them. Or if you want to reach out, Siobhan has got my contact number. I'm more than happy for her to pass it to you, and I'm more than happy to support you. I'm more than happy to help you when you want to step up and maybe run grade 5 if you need a referee. But as Siobhan has probably found out in the last term, I'm very, very, very booked all the way, like usually 2-3 months in advance. That's the way that competition work as well. You work like 4 months ahead. And my suggestion to you as well is, if you do get into the work competition, you have to work proactively on it. Don't just put the tournament on competition management system and just hope that people is going to enter it. You need to do a lot of marketing, mailing, direct mailing. Yeah, people will enter automatically grade 3s, grade 2, no problem at all. You don't even need to go into the tournament the day before doing the acceptance. But anything from 4 and below, you have to work, and you have to offer a good quality product. You know, if tournament entries are for external tournament are anything between 20 and 27 pounds. So you have to offer a good product in order to make sure that you have repeat customer. And if you get it right, I think about 70-80% of my players have played at least 2 tournaments over the past 5 months that I've organized. So I've got pretty much the same player. Then they spread the word, and it just become a bigger, because it's also, you don't want a situation where everyone plays the same player all the time as well. But yeah,
I'd say, Francesco, and Siobhan, just for clarity, what do you have to be a referee to run certain grade tournaments? I know you have to be, but it could be worth just
yeah. So great.
Viewers.
Grade 6, you can do them if you're a competition organizer, like Siobhan say. It's a course 2 hours, 30 minutes, to 30 pounds. Two of the younger employee of New Beetle Tennis have just done it. There was one, I think, last week. For grade 7 internal, you don't really need anything. Grade 6 are external, so yes, you do need the qualification, or a qualified coach can run it. So a level 2 coach can do it. For 5, and you need to be a qualified referee. It's a 2 days course. I think that it's £75 the fee, Siobhan. I think £75. Right. You need to pass the test. And then at that point is, so I'm currently in R4, but I've been authorized by the LTA already to do grade 4 in light of the number of competitions that I ran in a very short period of time. But otherwise, there is a ranking of referees. So every year there is a rating, and then if you are in the next bracket, then you can then do 4 and 3. But when you're starting, you're probably looking at 6 and 5 to start with. because most importantly, they're the one that they open to everyone. So for example, Oakwood let me do the grade 5 because there is a guarantee that the Oakwood player can play because it's first come, first serve. When you go into grade 4, like Mepham, for example, every year does a grade 4 in the summer. That is based on ranking. So there is no guarantee that play. Yes, you can give a wild card, but there is no guarantee that player from that club will be accepted.
So what you would do is, so your grade 6 and 7, chances are they would be your club players as such. That
I'll be honest to you, grade 6,
yeah.
grade 6, you do get a lot of people coming. So grade 6 are probably the first time that people play with players from other places, but in a more friendly environment. It's not, is the focus is not on winning, is about playing more matches. So on a grade 6, you probably play 3-4 matches, and there is no medals, there is no ranking, there is no winner and losers. But it's the first opportunity to have. And I think one thing I like to point out as well is one of the feedback. So Neil Beadle is very happy because starting to do this tournament in Oakwood has developed, like Siobhan say, new interest and new skills in the player of the club, because it's very, very different than playing in the league. You feel like even when you play in double tournament, like not a double tournament in a one-day competition, you feel it's just you and your team. While in the league, you know, it's 3 pairs, and you don't feel that it's a different thing, which is really nice because it's a team competition. But individual competition help you to develop your game probably more in that respect. You see other player, you're exposed to different things.
And then Francesco, just a quickie, if you can just touch on the Compete North Kent and the benefits of trying to get other clubs closer to you involved as well, please.
So that has been very key at the beginning, because at the beginning I've now have on my tournament planner about 1,000 players already in a very short period of time. But when you start, you haven't got anyone. So if you want to be proactive in reaching out, so Neil, Siobhan have been heavily involved in creating this North Kent network, and I start to put all the tournaments there, which was a very good starting point. And I got a lot of entries from Gresham, Blackheath, all the local club, which really helped. So at the beginning, you do need to use your network. It can be in Compete North Kent.
Yeah, so I'd say to clubs out there that look around the clubs that are closer to you as well, and see if you can join up with the coaches and whatever. And then I
did a mailing. It wasn't probably the most effective way to do it. I could have probably emailed Siobhan and asked her, but all I did, I went into the Summer League and I copied all the emails of all the captain and all the contact on every single club, and then I emailed my tournament to everyone. And I know for a fact that has worked, because I had people entering from Hythe, Kempsing, that there's no way that they would have entered if the only way is that some clubs are better than others, so that you send them a poster, they will put you on. But, you know, it's a bit of a number game. So you just, you know, every entry is an entry.
Yeah. So, I mean, great if you can hook up. I mean, for instance, Robert with Hot Shots, for instance. I mean, there'd be other hot shot clubs locally. So we're talking to Zane about whether, you know, you can link up with the other clubs that are closer to you and share the competitions and share. I mean, we're talking juniors here, aren't we? Mainly, we will come to adults, but
there is a big market for adults as well, and you do need to be careful with adults, because just before I go, I just want to make you aware of this. So, grade 4 and above, adult has own priority. So that means that there is a tendency of junior player wanting to play adults as soon as they can. because the way that the LTA ranking point works, your points double up every age group. So when they're 12, if they're really good, they try to play 16 because they get more ranking point. As soon as they turn 16, they play adults because there's so many more ranking points in it. And if you're not careful, you end up with a tournament full of kids and maybe a couple of adults. But you can change it and make it all own age priority. And that means that if 10 kids enter, if your tournament is going spaces, 10 kids enter and 4 adults enter, the 4 adults go in first, and then the other 4 will be 4 of the kids.
Great. All right, I'll hand back to Siobhan there, if that's okay. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As I say, feel free to reach out if you need.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I appreciate that. Was a lot of information there, which was fantastic. I think what came out of that was communication, definitely, and looking at your local venues. So I'm looking at Becky, and you're Tunbridge Wells, aren't you? And I know you do a good program there via Jason and Andy Lucy. And I wondered whether you guys talk with your local venues. You talk with Laura at St John's. Are there other local venues that you could talk with to get more people in, potentially?
Definitely up for doing more promotion of the events we're doing and any support to other places that want to run them as well. But yeah, funny enough, I'm actually trying to promote one for this Sunday that we haven't got a lot of players at a grade 5, 12 and under. So if anyone has any juniors that would be interested in that, they'd have to email Jason now because it's closed on the LTA website. But if anyone has anyone, I can share details after the call.
Okay,
Becky,
brilliant.
Sorry, Siobhan. Becky, it's just definitely worth trying to say hook up with the other clubs locally and start up a WhatsApp group and then share those competitions coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know how many clubs are in Complete North Kent, Siobhan, but it must be close to about a dozen, I would say.
I think so, yeah. So I was thinking if maybe I'll chat with Becky after, we can look in areas in and around you, and we can see what we can do in West Kent, because I think that's a good area to look at. You can link in with Sevenoaks, Chipstead, and if you're keen to do that, then that's something I can definitely help you with.
Definitely, no, that would be really good, because actually Jason this morning was only saying to me, right, we need to do more, and I was thinking, okay, this call is quite timely, so brilliant.
Fantastic.
I'll give you a call afterwards.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay,
But
great.
Valentina, there's no reason why you couldn't come into that Compete Kent as well if you wanted to start running your own tournaments as well. I think that's probably in the area, isn't it, Siobhan?
Oh,
I think
yeah, it's not far.
Elton.
I've also I'm just trying to get inspired, but the conversations are here. So definitely I'm looking to my juniors to start competing more often, and I know these healthy habits helps them to want to improve their tennis as well. So definitely something that we look into. It's just a slow start, a gradual start, I would say. I've started running some internal competition, just like a match play for them to start getting used. And I call them like they do the internal just with the teammates, and they collect points for entering, but it's all within Twist fees. It's just to give them a sense of wanted to do more. So last summer we did it for the first time. We had 3 competitions that we ran, and we had, I don't know, about 8 to 10 children, but to me it was good to see the progression. So we're just starting, we're slowly trying to educate children and parents that it's important to do so. But yeah, definitely something that I will look up to, and I'm going to implement this in our program for sure.
I can definitely help you, Valentina, if you like. And you said a really good word there, education. Education is key for players and for parents, as you say, and also not just for those, but also for yourselves, because the idea of competition is fantastic. I want to do that. But where do I actually start? There seems to be so many hoops sometimes you need to jump through, and it's not as difficult as it may seem, not as overwhelming as it may seem. And that's what I'm here for. I'm more than happy to help you. For my own personal experience, I set up competitions at Sundridge Park away from my Kent tennis role. They didn't do anything there, and they hadn't done for a while. And I've set up over the last year. There's been a lot of trial and error, a lot of tournaments cancelled due to frosty courts, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a lot of players wanting to enter. So there is appetite, not necessarily from Kent and from Sundridge Park, which is the frustrating aspect, because you've got a tournament at your own club.
Yeah.
You wonder why they're not participating, but it's lack of education. There's no competition culture, or there was no competition culture for juniors at Sundridge Park. And now the club have decided to put on their own match plays as well, which link in. So it's fantastic. It's just, it takes someone to put it there, like you, for example, Valentina, to get it in there, and then things kind of spiral after that. As you say, Andy, you've put your club championships in, and now you've got a grade 4, and it just spirals, doesn't it? It just increases.
Raises the profile of the club, and I think a good coach friend of mine said that tennis sometimes is the only sport where, you know, the kids train during the week but don't have any match at the weekends. If you think rugby, you think football, you know, they're all inspiring to practice during the week for that big match at the weekend. And almost we don't give them that, and that would be fantastic to give them. I'm not saying every weekend should be matches, but it as I said, it could be just internal competition, whatever that looks like. But I definitely think that retaining your juniors and your adult members, I mean, we've set up a rural box league in Kent, and we do inter-club, and that's worked so well. So it's home and away. So we do that with Trotterscliffe, New Ash Green, Gravesham and Mepham. And that's only singles at the moment. We are going to do doubles, but that's again home and away matches. And I know full well that we've got people from other clubs that come to us. You know, they enjoy playing at our club. They enjoy playing at the matches, and we're just going to retain those players because we're offering that competition, and specifically for those ones that either aren't quite there in your teams yet, that want a bit of that just want a bit of confidence in playing some matches and whatever as well. So they might not be able to get into your teams, or they might not want to play in your teams, or it doesn't work for them at the weekends because they've got family. So therefore they can arrange their box league matches in the evenings or something during the weekdays or something. So yeah, it's there's definitely a lot of benefits that people don't realise with running competition, and it's just breaking down those barriers to, as Siobhan said, get on that initial 30-minute, whatever it is, course. And I think, Siobhan, am I right in saying that you have to apply for the results manager access as well? Do you?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not in favour with that aspect of it, but the box league and the results manager is more the LTA side of it. But I can certainly help you set up grade 6s through TTP, but you'd have to have done the competition organiser course first.
Yes. Yeah. Fine.
I can point you in a direction.
Good.
And in terms of bigger picture of competition, in terms of Kent Tennis's competition, it's just a plea from me to have your guys' support when I send out emails to you guys as club main contacts or coaches about our upcoming schools competitions and our county championships, our seniors tournaments. It'd be really helpful if you guys could spread the word within your venues, pass it on to, I don't know, your team captains for the leagues, or pass it on to your junior membership for the schools. We have no way of getting out there to the children other than through you guys. So it would be great if you could just ping the forward button to your members. That would be really helpful. On a positive note, our numbers have gone up massively for schools. I think we've got nearly 50 or 60 schools engaged over primary and secondary. Our seniors tournament just closed 2 weeks ago, and we have 40 more players than we did last year, men and women. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. And our county championships, we had 505 players, which was more than Surrey and Middlesex, which we like to give a little round of applause for. So it's getting there. The word's getting out there. People they have the appetite for competition.
Good. Well done. So, just quickly, Valentina, do you have the Barclays local tennis leagues where you are? Do the LTA organise your tennis leagues on the park courts where you are at all?
No, so the one that I'm talking about, I call them tennis trails, and it's just a message that I send out to parents, and my juniors are monthly trying to get into the competition side of it. And for adults, we have someone that is managing a box league, and I think that's through LTA. So we have our adults that represent us in Kent, and we have the box league where it's more for singles, which like it comes in line with what you mentioned, that some people don't want to play doubles, some people are not free in the weekend, so it's up to them when do they organize within each other to meet. But for my juniors, I don't have anything using any kind of system or anything like that. Like I mentioned, it's just gradually starting and trying to. I'm now trying to run a Halloween festival, and I call it festival for the reason of increasing the numbers. And if I put the word out competition, I won't have anyone signing up yet. So we just had a chat yesterday with Lyndall and the team that let's change the title to be more appealing, and of course there will be a competition element and some few points in there. Yeah, but that's what we are now.
What, a competition of tennis and who can carve out the best pumpkin, maybe?
Something like that. They will come dressed up. They will take part in some challenges, and then half of the festival will be matches.
Good.
But we'll take the pressure out. So it's just a way of collecting points through everything you're doing on the day. A little bit like team challenge, let's say.
Yeah. Good. Graham, what do you do down in Y at the moment? Is there any sort of competitions down there that the coaches run? Have you linked up with any other clubs at all to maybe have inter-club box leagues and whatever, singles box leagues?
Yeah, well, I've been chairman of the Ashford District League now for 16 years. And one of the first things I had to say to Siobhan, we've actually come a long way, because it was only 2 or 3 years ago that after each game we filled in a card and you had to send it off to the arena, and it was a nightmare. People wouldn't put whether it was a men's team or ladies team or Division 1 or Division 2. But now the new system, I have to say, online is working very well. So yes, the Ashford District League is very successful. We've got I think 16 teams in the league, or 14 teams. I've recently been reminded that we used to have a junior league in the but that fell away sort of with COVID. So we've got our AGM in a couple of weeks' time, and we are thinking of trying to resurrect the junior league. I don't know whether you've got any thoughts on that, Siobhan, whether junior leagues are good in Kent or.
So my first thought was, I hope it doesn't clash with the county junior league.
Oh, yeah.
I find that a struggle, if I'm being honest. And the National Summer and the National Winter League, it is a struggle for juniors. The clubs enter teams, which is great. And then parents say, yeah, I'll play. And then unfortunately they don't. They have other commitments. They don't seem to be as committed as what the adults may be. I think there's just a different culture now to what they used to be before COVID. Everybody went out to play a tennis tournament. They loved playing their tennis matches. And now, as Andy said, the end goal doesn't seem to be there. And we need to educate them more before putting more things out there. I'd suggest it may be worth, Graham, sending them a team to our leagues for now, and especially the Division 2, because then I can localize it within the county, see if there's an appetite. If there is, I'm more than welcome to run one in conjunction at different times. But I think if we oversaturate with too many and there's not enough interest, I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, I probably agree. I will send out an email to all the secretaries, club secretaries, and find out whether there is an appetite. Mike Bruce, who's been coaching since about 1910 at our club, he did suggest that they used to have even just friendlies amongst clubs for juniors. So maybe is another way to go. If I may just, while everyone's here, Club Spark, maybe this is for Janice. I recently wrote to Club Spark because we don't use them to collect fees, but we use them for our court booking. And what we found every year, our membership runs from the 1st of April to the 31st of March, is that for some reason, people lose their membership or booking privileges mid-March for some reason. And I've written to Club Spark, but I've had no reply. So I'm just wondering how we can get around this.
I think Graham, every club has the same problem. I know we do at MEPM, and often we just have to go in and individually either re-register them, or sometimes you have a duplicate. But I don't know if Janice can expedite anything to Club Spark. I'd hazard a guess that probably not. But yeah, it's not an uncommon problem, Graham. We get that at MEPM, and sometimes it's often because of sort of duplicate accounts that people have got as well. And for some reason, when you reload the membership each year, it picks up their secondary account again, which is a bit of a problem and a sticking point. But yeah, would you say, Janice, just to sort of persist with Club Sparks?
And the LTA, and maybe the LTA as well.
Yeah.
The support team at the LTA, but it's no way. I haven't got any influence there. I haven't got a contact or anything.
No.
Well, sorry, Andy. I remember on one of our earlier calls, we had a gentleman from the LTA on, and he was saying that, I don't know, Club Spark get about, I can't remember the exact figure, but say it was like 100 calls a week, we say. And he was saying, you know, that's why we don't always get back to people. Well, if they're getting 100 calls a week, that surely means that there's something wrong. If you get no,
that was the LTA support team. It was that Reese from the LTA support joined us. And he would say that they get so many emails and contacts that they can't keep up with it. And I don't think it's really changed. I think it's still very much the same.
But what Andy is saying is absolutely right. People do have duplicate accounts, but that's only a few. But it causes so much additional work when it's not necessary. If the LTA said, right, yeah, we won't stop people's booking rights until, say, whatever date, in our case it's 31st of March, it would be so much more helpful. We just send them up-to-date membership list, and that should be the end of it. So I think it's something that the LTA do need to look at. It would save a lot of work.
Yeah, I agree. I know there's lots of gremlins with Club Spark over the years. It's a bit clunky, I think people say, but it is a free platform after all, and it seems to work with booking the light. That we've got our lights hooked up to them as well, and information in it. It's quite easy for the whole committee to get on board with it, rather than employing someone to do like a website from scratch. So I think gradually the gremlins will be worked out, Graham. But I feel your pain, because I get the emails to say, oh, we can't book on our courts after, you know, the 1st of April. So, but if you don't get anywhere, then let me know, Graham, and I'll try and rattle a few cages and see if we can get somewhere for you.
Okay, thank you. Well, while we're here on the last, I do find these sessions quite useful, because the last one, which was about the risk assessment, when we had Jane, and I was horrified to find out how far behind the curve we are. And I rang up Jane because I had no idea, for example, that if you've got a junior who's under 12, you have to take him to the toilet and things like that. So, you know, it did open my eyes, and Jane is very kindly going to come down to visit our club and help us out. Finally, my last point is that we at Y, we collect our fees ourselves. We just send out a reminder that the fees are due, and always there's about 30 members, more or less the same members, we have to chase. I mean, even go around their houses, but it gets us an extra £2,000. Now, I just wonder what everyone else here. How do you collect your fees, and do you have a penalty charge if people are late paying, for example?
Well, they can't book colts, Graham, for a start. So that soon gets them paying if they can't book a colt. And
Yeah,
yeah, and
absolutely.
and the coaches just give them a little nudge as well if they're on any coaching with the coaches. We give a list to the coaches, and they can't book on the coaching program if they sort of haven't paid, or they get a little nudge as well. But yeah, does anybody else do anything different? Becky, anything that you do at all?
Not really. Hound them. No, we do exactly the same actually.
Yeah.
We take away their booking rights, and and we get the coaches to have a word, or we work out who knows that person the best, really, to
Yeah.
And take away them off the WhatsApp group.
Yes. Yeah. But I didn't like the word quite useful, Graham. I think these are very useful, not quite useful.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Sorry, just going about all your competitions. What we've encouraged is on our tournament, we have 2 tournaments a year, one a club tournament and one a handicap tournament. And what we've encouraged is that the juniors have junior club mornings where, like you say, they can have coaching, but they can't have tournament play. So Steve arranges these mornings where they have their sort of little tournaments every 2 or 3 months. But then there's a finals of each of them, and we put them on our finals day as well. So rather than starting at 12 o'clock with our finals day, we start at 8, 9 in the morning and do the juniors sort of finals as well. So they feel part of the whole club. And they really are enjoying that.
That's a fantastic story, Laura. Yeah, what we're just after is to try and get that on the LTA system and get Siobhan involved in trying to help you, because I said, if anything, the minimum that we should try and do is our annual tournament. If we can do our annual junior and adult tournament using the TTP system, then I think that's great. And I don't necessarily think we should always leave it for the coaches to be doing this.
Well, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We give out. I've got a subcommittee, which is the inter-tournament committee, and they deal with that and talk to the coach.
Good. Yeah. I think that's a very good idea that the committee have an input and get trained up on this, not just the coaches,
because they're so busy. They're so busy at our club. They need our support.
Yes, that's great. That's fantastic. Any other questions for Siobhan at all?
Yeah, what I will say is, just listen to the last caller, last lady. We actually have our club tournaments. We have a finals day, and we have juniors, ladies, mixed, and everything. And this year we probably had about 40 odd members came down to support the day. So it's very, very good.
Brilliant.
Good. So there's lots of positives today. Becky maybe hooking up with Laura and maybe starting some kind of West Kent, league would be great. Be it with your junior tournaments, brilliant.
I think that Steve's got that all under control. I think he's in touch with you anyway.
Great. Robert, maybe talk to Zane on the tournaments there, and whether you can hook up with local clubs around where you are, or even the West Kent. I mean, you're not too far away from these guys, are you, at the end of the day? So that might be an option.
The trouble, we don't have the membership. We're struggling with members. That's the biggest problem. We'd love to.
Yeah.
But, Zane, bless his heart, he's tried his best, but there's just no interest. It's horrible.
Yeah, but even if there was a league, like we've started up the adult rural box league, even if you had your members, and it might be only 10 members that might want to play in some kind of box league, at least you're retaining what you've got because you're offering them competition, if you see what I mean. So that may well. I mean, New Ash Green and Trotterscliffe, where we are, they're 2 court clubs. Like, they haven't got big memberships either, and they're playing the box league. We're a 5 court club at Mepham, I think a 7 court club at Gravesham, but we still have people from Trosley and New Ash Green playing in these box leagues as well, and it retains their membership. to a certain extent, Robert. So just food for thought.
Yeah, I'm leaking members to nearby clubs, which is a worry. So I don't know quite how to stop that.
Yeah. And then Valentina, happy for you to come in to compete. Kent, Siobhan will let you know that, and Siobhan will help you set up your own tournaments at your club as well, Valentina.
Yeah,
that's good. Not too sure where Des has gone, but he's been listening today, so hopefully he's got some top tips. But we're after this, Siobhan, are we going to send out some links? Are we?
Yeah, I can put something together, definitely.
Yeah, Siobhan, if you send me anything you want to share, and I'll do a follow-up email.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Brilliant. So thanks for joining us today. Just a reminder that at Crescent on the 3rd of November, Crescent Tennis Club, we have our face-to-face forum. So that's all clubs, venues, parks. Valentina, if you can make it, or even feed you as well, give you some sandwiches. So that's 10 till 1, Monday the 3rd of November. If you want to come along, we're just going to give you as much information as we possibly can from a Kent tennis perspective. That's around potentially funding, again, more information on competitions, social media, and it's a chance to network with other clubs as well. So, if I could ask that, every club here today tries to book onto that link. Janice will send the link out again as a follow-up. But we'll love, it'd be great to see you there. 10 till 12 is the forum, and then an hour of networking and a spot of lunch afterwards. What couldn't be better on a Monday morning? Excellent. Hand back to you, Janice, if that's okay.
So just one last reminder before we all go head off for the day is to remember, if you haven't already nominated for the LTA awards, nominations are open now for all categories, and they close on the 30th of November. So do think about people in your venues, coaches, volunteers, anyone, or schools if you're linking with schools, any particular categories, your officials, yourself. You can nominate yourself. We don't mind you nominating yourself. So so do please get your nominations in. We'd love to have a record number of applications again this year. So I think that's
just about rewarding your volunteers. So any volunteers at your club, your coaches, Valentina, you might have a young person who's helping you coach, or a volunteer, anybody like that. We just want to hear from you. So it's a real chance of you sort of showcasing and rewarding your volunteers at your club. So I think Harriet Shum got Club of the Year, and that's a seasonal club, a grass court club. That only play, I think, 5 months of the year, but they got Club of the Year because they had a big open day. They play in the local village hall with pickleball, so it doesn't necessarily have to be anything big. It just can be, what you find and what you think is really rewarding to your members and your community. That's what we want to hear. Sorry, Janice.
Yes. So also, I hope you're enjoying reading the Kent Tennis News that goes out fortnightly. Please remember to share this with your members. We'd like more subscribers to our newsletter. So if you have got a little bit of time and you can encourage your members to subscribe, we would appreciate that too. So we'll see you hopefully in November at the forum at Crescent. If not, then December will be our next meeting, where I believe we will be announcing our county list, will we? Our county shortlist.
Yes.
Yeah, so in December, so that hopefully you'll join us then. So all information comes via the Kent Tennis News, separate emails from me with about coffee morning. So please join us when we next communicate to you. So have a good week, and thanks, Siobhan, again for joining us. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.